Hey y'all, what's up? One, I apologize. I don't know. I had a very, you know what? I do know. I had a very hard weekend and I was an emotional goddamn wreck. And you know what? I had to pick up the goddamn pieces. If you know what that's like, you might as well smash the subscribe button now because in addition to our 28 days of Black thought, Black love, Black literature, I, on my own journey to like well-being, picked up Bell Hooks' book, All About Love. And let me tell you, I'm not done yet. So if you want to jump on this reading journey with me, you want to jump on this, look at me, I'm a ghetto hot mess today. You want to jump on a reading journey with me, you want to jump on this love ethic with me, then absolutely go get you a copy of All About Love. I'm actually reading it on YouTube as I take my daily walks. Every day I try to take a 3-mile walk, and I fell off, hence me falling into an emotional hole. But I take my walks and I listen to a book of my choice. And I tend to always go towards business books. I tend to always go through like war strategies and like things like that. And it gets you, you know. But I was like, you know what I really want, if I could ask for anything, is that I would just like to have more love in my life. Like I would like to have more comfort, more joy, more people to connect with and hug on and love on, and people that enjoy like hugging and loving on me. And I was like, well, maybe I'm so brilliant and I've become so brilliant because I'm reading these books. Why aren't I reading books about love? And so I was like, okay, all right, the challenge is set. So I picked up All About Love by Bell Hooks. And guys, reading this book has just been illuminating. And I don't think I'm going to be able to just finish it in one read and just be done with it. I'm going to have to read it again. And I'm going to even go on to specific chapters. But today's video is just like an overview of what I've been reading. So All About Love is by Bell Hooks. And what she does is she explores the idea and the ideology and the theory of love on all planes, And she talks about some of the barriers that keep us away from love. And I think I was in chapter 7 where she pretty much grabbed me through the book. Like she was like, listen here, Bree. And then she kind of pimp slapped me a few times and she'd be like, you the problem. And I think it's just a great book to read, male or female. I've actually got 2 of my friends to read it, a male and a female, and I've been talking about it nonstop to my friends who don't read, and they're like, this is some profoundly deep stuff. And so I'm inviting all of you to read All About Love by Bell Hooks. If any of you are like me, you may have kind of got to the place where love seemed like a hopeless movement. Like, why put my efforts there because I'm not getting rewards? And for me, I know I'm personally guilty of this feeling where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on money, I'm gonna focus on traveling, I'm gonna focus on the gym, anything other than my major desire, because I think a lot of my fear was, 1, I'll never get it, 2, I'll find myself heartbroken again, and who wants to be heartbroken? And then 3, maybe I'll be the person to mess it up, you know? And so in the beginning of the book, like the first couple of chapters, she makes you kind of look at yourself. Like, are you struggling with like a fear of love? And you have to kind of get, like, if the book's going to work, you got to get a little honest with yourself. So for me, it was like, yeah, I think I'm a little afraid too. Like, I'm afraid to even really put myself out there. Like, I be putting like 30% of my foot in the door, and then if they don't open the door wide and say like how much they appreciate me and how much they love me immediately, then I move my foot and I close the door, because I'll be damned if I'm putting in effort and you're not putting in effort, or if I'm loving you and you're not loving me, or if I'm trying. Like, it's so much fear that goes into like trying to have a connection with somebody. And this can go beyond like, I think, intimate relationships. This can go into friendships, right? Like, well, I don't want to be calling you and you ain't calling me. Like, or I don't want to be spending my money and you ain't really trying to, like. And so reading the book, you have to kind of get out of your ego. Like, listen, love, and she defines it. She says, well, let's redefine how we're looking at it, because a lot of what we think about love comes from dysfunctional relationships that we've had all the way since our beginning of our childhoods. But if we redefine love and think of it as supporting someone on expanding their or yourself and expansion of your spiritual journey, like it's all about giving support to someone else or even yourself, being really gentle in that operation, being compassionate, kind, respectful, having integrity, trust, and honesty. Like, those are the elements that we need to be focused on when we're talking about love, and less on the elements of what does this person do for me, or why did they not do that, or where were you on this day, and what about what you were doing. Let's cut all of that out. Let's cut out all of that stuff and get back to the nitty gritties of these primary things. How much can you serve another person? How much can you support another person, right? And she even goes into talking about how, we started getting these really messed up, wonky ideas about love because we start off with our parents. And if you got corporal punishment like I did, and you got whoopings and spankings and stuff like that, then she discusses that and even just your parents giving you shame, guilt, punishments, like when you mess up, instead of like reinforcing love and compassion, if they were very punitive, not that you don't need discipline, so don't come at me, mommy warriors. But what I'm saying is, sometimes as an adult, it can create a very abstract understanding of what love should look like and what it should feel like. And she talks about how we live like a secular, individualistic society where it's all about what I can receive in love. But she kind of challenges, it's really in chapter 6, 7, 8, where I was like, somebody hold my drink, because I am now seeing that I'm the problem. Like, because she talks about she starts off talking about living with a love ethic, and how if we're living with a love ethic, then love is going to be surrounding us in all forms, like not just romantic love, communal love, family love, love of self, love of life, love of the universe, right? And not so much to focus on what we're getting, but also to remember just how much fun it is and how much love it comes from supporting and serving another person. And but she also reminds us that as women, sorry guys, but as women, we do need to be practicing being recipients of love. For so long, the dominating ideas in our culture about domination, power, and patriarchy make us feel like all we can do is pour out love, and that men don't really have a responsibility into giving love. And she says it's time for us to like reshape that attitude. You do need to be giving love, but you also need to be a practicing participant in receiving love. And to me, I was like, well, who's loving me? Again, got very selfish. And was like, who's loving me? Well, why I gotta do this? And well, if I'm giving all this love and nobody's loving me, like I feel left out. And then this morning, I was like, wait a minute. Love can live in gratitude. And I was like, man, I'm really thankful for having an extra hour today to be able to go support my nephew at his Black History program, because I know that he like enjoys to see me there supporting him. And I was thinking like, wow, I will support my nephew through all forms and all fashions. I'm gonna love that man regardless. Why can't I do that in my other relationships? Why do I want to have these conditions on, like, if I'm receiving this, then I can give that? No. Like, if you can give and you can love and it's not taking anything out of you, and it shouldn't be because it's coming from a genuine loving place, then you can be loving. And honestly, I think I was talking to a friend. She was like, well, what about, if it just doesn't work? And I was like, the thing about raising your own frequency is that when you raise your frequency, one of two things happens to the people around you. Either they raise their frequency and you guys have better interactions, or they really just get sick of talking to your ass and they leave you alone. And so I was like, all we have to really do is commit to being loving. We don't have to cut anybody out of our life. We don't have to be angry. We don't have to be upset. Just commit to being compassionate, trustworthy, kind, listening, supportive. Just focus on the elements it takes for you to be loving. And when you find yourself on a journey and find yourself confused, say, well, how do I want to be loved? And if this were me, we flip this, how would I want to be loved? I'm not done with the book yet. I'm only on like chapter 8, but I did have to stop in and tell you guys just how moving it is already. And I do want to do like a chapter. I don't think I'm going to do every chapter, but of course the ones that mean a lot to me. I think I'll definitely do chapter 6 through 8. Just going back over it in like a slower pace. But I did want to invite you guys to read Bell Hooks. She is a Black woman talking about love in a way that reduces our need for selfishness, reduces our need for ego, reduces our need to be always weighing the scale, and she challenges us to push past our need for greed, our need for possessions, and to really get to the core of what our emotional vulnerabilities are. And if it's a lack of love, how we can overcome those barriers. And she kind of says, like, hey, if you were able to overcome poverty or being a first generation student or anything that's really hard, don't look at loving as something that you can't a barrier that you can't overcome. Like, if you were able to bring yourself through college or bring yourself out of poverty or bring yourself to own your own home or whatever your goals were, if you could accomplish those, you can accomplish a love ethic. You can accomplish having true love in your life, but it starts with you. It starts with you. And I'm personally, I'm up for the challenge. I've started with me. I've already started seeing some of my behaviors that I don't like, and I'm moving them. I'm improving them, and I'm apologizing when I need to apologize. And yeah, I'm just saying, look, this is gonna be a short video. I'm about to end it right now. But Bell Hooks, all about love, Black thought, Black love, Black opportunity to expansion, to get our community as a whole back in a loving place. Because with love at the foundation, what can we not achieve? Read it. Let's get back. Let's talk about it. I want to talk to y'all about it. If you ready, email me too. Y'all know my email address is briancaj@gmail.com. Hit me up.